Hello, my name is Will Lujan.
I'm Alex Liss.
I'm Nico Andricopoulos.
We are all students at Grandview High School, and we are all freshmen. Today, we're going to be talking about network design, and the most important thing to understand network design is how it actually functions. So the main thing is a network is basically how it communicates from one computer within a company all the way up into basically a global array of communication lines and services. So the main two things about setting up these networks is what type of network architecture you use. So the two main ones are work group architecture and domain controlled architecture. So work group is within like a certain amount of people. So this would be like a branch of a company or one location of a company. But domain controlled is usually a widespread area, which can be anywhere from, if it's a large branch, all the way up into a company as a whole. And so our prompt was, we have a problem with our network and it only happens when we aren't there, which is after midnight. And so what we need to do is figure out a way how to solve our problem when we aren't there and make sure that it doesn't happen before it even occurs. So this can be anywhere from adding backup and recovery so that we are able to keep it secure, and all the way to making sure that our network is actually working in every way that it should be. And so the two main parts of our network actually working are the ports. And so we discussed the 53 and 80 ports. So our 53 port uses both TCP and UDP, which is transmission control protocol and user datagram protocol. And then our TCP. And so UDP is usually just like one user's protocol. So this is one computer or anywhere up to one branch, depending on the network design. And then transmission control protocol, which is TCP, is usually a wider array of people and obviously focuses more on the communication side of it.
Our first solution to the scenario would be having multiple backup devices to support the network itself. Some of these devices include floppy disks, hard drives, and DVDs. All these services would serve as parts of a solution to the network, as it could feed to all parts and increase not only the safety of the network, but also the power of the network. This then reflects the network installation with towers and main systems that are within the network. This makes it so the network can be better for main and secondary users without the whole entire company. A con, however, to this solution would be that it is more of a local solution and would stop more of the global and traveling side of the company, as hard disk, DVDs, and things like that cannot be sent to everybody, can only support the main parts of the company.
One way to prevent the problem before it even happens is using firewalls. One firewall that I strongly recommend is the Barracuda firewall, because it's both cloud and server-based. And then having your IT team identify the vulnerable parts of your network helps a lot, so you can extra protect that. And if you configure your network correctly, problems will happen later and not as often. Putting switches and backups and having problem fixes to these problems can stop the problem before it starts.
Now, our third and final solution would be to use cloud-based backup. So this can be anywhere from Google Cloud to even a new cloud that is trusted and won't bring too many problems throughout. So one thing with cloud-based is that a lot of it involves the backup and recovery side of things, because one is it's a cloud-based backup, so it's very hard to tap into unless you're already like assigned to the cloud specifically. And then the recovery is easy because it's saved to the cloud in multiple sources, which can be easily recovered and distributed to where the problems have occurred. And so the only thing about cloud-based networking is that it could change a network system very dramatically. So it can both change it locally and widespread, because one, if it's local clouds, it changes that entirely because they have to connect this through the cloud. And so each branch has to be connected to every other branch, which is the whole part of the company. And then if it's a widespread cloud, this allows everyone to tap into it. But the problem with this is you don't necessarily know if you can trust everyone that is tapping into it. So it could lead to people breaking into the data, and then you don't know who exactly it is until you discover what's wrong with the cloud, and this could bring even more problems. But the problem with this is there's a lot of not necessarily risk, but rarities that can occur. But the thing is it's a lot cheaper than some things like installing a bunch of hard drives and all these other ways of backing up networks and systems. Thank you. This was our presentation.